Speak to Colin Deiner, Western Cape Disaster Management Chief Director. Thank you so much, Colin, for your time. What can you tell us about the latest on the ground when it comes to the operation?
Yeah, good evening. Yeah, so we are, as the Mayor said, we are working in the process of what we call delayering the building. So that is taking the different floors off and doing that very carefully. We are waiting the arrival of the specialized equipment. Should be hopefully any minute now. Which will allow us to really just pick up more of the concrete around the back of the building, so away from the roadside. And we are hoping, when we sent our rescue teams in there this afternoon, they found the basement to be intact, but we couldn't get through to the main part of the basement because of a collapse that had happened earlier. So the concrete was stopping us from getting through there, the collapsed area. So hopefully we're going to work through the night, obviously. We're still in rescue mode. We've decided to go there. So we want to just lift all these slabs off, floors off, so that we can get into the basement this evening and do a search there, for any remaining victims.
What does it tell us that the basement was still intact?
Sorry, could you just repeat?
What does it tell us, especially because you're saying that the basement was intact and you're still trying to make sure that you're getting through some of the layers. And people, of course, have been asking a lot of questions looking at the collapse and how the structure did go down. So is there anything that we should be looking into, especially when it comes to this basement still being intact?
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's very difficult to say when a building is collapsed and you're taking it apart is how, I think it could be there's a lot of services coming through there. There's, the staircases, the lift shaft, etc. Mm-hmm. And what then happens is buildings collapse around things like that. Mm-hmm. The basement, it seems to quite a hit on its sides, but the middle seems to be okay. And that's what we're really hoping for and relying on.
Yeah.
And then obviously the lift shaft is also still up until probably about floor number 2 is still there. So those are we have to look in the areas where we think there's going to be openings for survivors.
And when it comes then to this particular operation, Colin, let's talk about, one thing that we often forget about, and that is, of course, the presence of sniffer dogs and their assistance. How key have they been in this particular operation?
They've been excellent. The SABC's dogs, and then we've had some volunteer dog handlers as well. And these dogs are trained to be able to actually discern whether the person is alive or whether the person is no longer alive. And that's the level to which they're trained. So I think the most important thing for us is when we're in search mode is to find live victims. And these dogs can actually look past the person that is already deceased, find a live person, and they also can do it very quickly. So it's very important for us in such a big building with, 2,000 tons of concrete to be able to work very, very fast, especially, like on the first 2-3 days. So the dogs have been of great value. It's obviously for them also very draining because, in the heat and having to work on difficult terrain. But they've really been the stars.
Definitely, and we often forget to even think about, just how much of a toll it also takes on them as well. But thank you so much, Colin, for that update. That's Colin Deiner, the Western Cape Disaster Management Chief Director.